There are two types of people in this world: those who command their mind and those who are commanded by it. And let me tell you something, there is no in-between. Every day you wake up, you're at war, not with the world, not with your circumstances, but with the thoughts that tell you you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. That voice, that's not you. That's the part of your mind that was never trained. It's the part that's been fed on fear, comfort, distraction, and the lies of a culture that profits off your confusion. You want freedom, you want wealth, you want power, purpose, peace. Then you better learn to command your mind, because if you don't, I promise you, someone else will. That's what Napoleon Hill meant when he said, you either control your mind or it controls you. Most people don't realize they've already handed over the keys. They let doubt sit in the driver's seat. They let fear whisper in their ear. They let the news, the opinions of strangers, the failures of yesterday run their entire system. It starts subtly. You hit snooze instead of rising. You scroll instead of studying. You react instead of reflect. And little by little, your mind forgets who's in charge. The greatest deception is that your mind is you. But your mind is a tool, no different than a hammer or a pen. It's meant to serve, not rule. It's meant to build, not bind. You think Edison listened to the noise? When he failed 1,000 times to invent the light bulb, do you think he let his thoughts drown him in defeat? No, he rewired his failures into feedback. He commanded his mind to keep going. You think Carnegie built an empire by chance? He trained his mind to see beyond what the masses saw. He saw opportunity in chaos. He saw possibility where others saw limitation. And that was no accident. The people you admire, the ones who rise, the ones who break records, build nations, change history, they all have one thing in common. They learned to direct their mind like a general commands an army. They don't hope for confidence. They create it. They don't wait for motivation. They build momentum because they know the truth. Your mind is a servant, not a master. But it's a dangerous servant and a deadly master. So the question becomes, how do you reclaim command? It starts with belief, not belief in a fantasy, but belief that you were born with the same raw material as every legend that came before you. Lincoln was born into poverty. Disney was fired for lack of imagination. Ford was told he'd never succeed without investors. They didn't just fight the world, they fought themselves, and they won. Because belief is not something you wait for, it's something you decide. You declare war on doubt. You stare in the mirror and say, "Not today." Clarity follows belief. Once you believe, you must know where you're going. A general never charges without a strategy. Your life needs direction. Vague dreams produce vague results. The mind thrives in chaos unless you give it clear orders. Write the vision. Name the goal. See it so clearly it becomes more real than your current reality. Visualization is not some empty ritual. It is the blueprint your subconscious obeys. Carnegie taught Hill this. He told him that the mind, when properly focused, becomes a magnet, and you either attract success or you attract suffering, based on the signal you send. Your mind cannot ignore what you continually impress upon it. So be careful what you speak, what you imagine, what you affirm, because your mind is always listening. And it does not filter truth from lies, it simply obeys. That's why discipline isn't punishment, it's protection. It's how you safeguard your mind against the forces trying to steal your focus. Discipline is saying no to the short term so you can say yes to the future. Every time you choose to rise instead of sleep in, to work instead of waste, to speak life instead of doubt, you are reprogramming your operating system. Discipline builds momentum. Momentum builds belief. Belief builds results. And results reinforce the mind that started it all. You are not your feelings. You are not your fears. You are not your failures. You are the commander. You give the orders. But understand this. Command doesn't come through ease. It comes through fire. You must train your mind like a soldier trains for battle. You test it. You push it. You discipline it until it obeys without question. Because if you don't, it will default to comfort, to laziness, to mediocrity. And mediocrity is a silent killer. It doesn't crash into your life like failure. It whispers. It numbs. It slowly drains the color from your vision until you no longer recognize your own potential. Greatness demands discomfort. Growth requires pressure. And the most powerful transformation happens when you stop running from the hard things and start running toward them. That's what purpose does. It gives pain a reason. It turns struggle into a forge. When you live with purpose, you stop asking for easy. You ask for strength. Purpose makes the mind resilient. It sharpens your senses. It strips away distraction. You're not here to drift. You're here to dominate. Not in arrogance, not in ego, but in truth. Because deep down, you know you were made for more. And the only way to claim it is to command it. Command your vision. Command your discipline. Command your thoughts like a captain commands the sea. Because the storms will come. That's a promise. But the storm doesn't sink the ship. The water that gets inside does. So guard the gates of your mind like your life depends on it. Because it does. And when the doubts rise like waves, you rise higher. You become the lighthouse. Not just for yourself, but for everyone who's still lost in the fog. Commanding your mind is not about silencing your fears. It's about standing taller than them. It's about choosing courage when comfort seduces you. It's about doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Because mastery isn't about mood, it's about mission. You want to change your life? You want to break free from the cycle of almost and someday? Then learn to do the thing. No matter how you feel. Command your morning. Command your speech. Command your presence. People will feel it. That energy, that focus, that fire. They won't know what changed, but they'll see it in your eyes. You stopped being owned by your mind. You became its master. And if this message lit something inside you, if it woke up the part of you that's tired of sleepwalking through life, then don't let it fade. Let this be the moment everything changes. Let this be the line you draw in the sand. From today forward, you are no longer a slave to your thoughts. You command them. You shape them. You build with them. Because that is what warriors do. That is what leaders do. That is what you do now. And if you're walking this path, if you're ready to build an unshakable mind, a resilient spirit, and a life that reflects your true potential, then join the movement. Subscribe to Stoic Trench. Because this isn't just motivation. This is mental warfare. This is philosophy forged in fire. And this is your home now. You were born to lead. Now rise and command your mind.